Hello and welcome to today's lesson where we're looking at the STP marketing model. Now, a mistake many companies make is to think that anyone can be their customer. Taking this approach can make it difficult to sell your product or service because none of your prospective customers will feel that your solution is tailored to them and their specific needs. In fact, there isn't really a product in existence that should target everybody as its customer. Even a company like Coca-Cola that operates in over 200 countries and sells well over 1 billion products a day offers different products to suit different types of people. Now, STP stands for segmenting, targeting, and positioning, and it's a simple framework that can help improve your marketing. And what the model says is that to achieve easier sales, you should divide your market into groups of customers called segments, select the most attractive segment or most attractive segments, and then position your product in the marketplace to be the most appealing to that segment. Let's take a closer look. So the first step of the STP process is to segment your market. And here you divide your market into groups based on some criteria. And there's a number of criteria you can use. So first we have demographic segmentation, and that's where you divide your market based on a combination of maybe age, gender, income level, education level, marital status, etc. You can divide your market based on geography, so sorting your market by country, region, state or province, or even urban or city area. You can segment your market in a psychographic way, so segmenting people by lifestyle, hobbies, activities, opinions, political affiliation, entertainment choices, or maybe personality traits or attitudes. Now, while demographic information explains who your potential customer is, psychographic information tends to explain why they choose to buy. Another way to segment people is behaviorally, and this breaks down your market by how they use the product. So including how the purchase was financed, brand loyalty, their usage levels, key benefits sought or key features used, etc. Now, when you divide your market into segments and then focus your marketing on a specific segment driven by the information you've collected, you're much more likely to be successful than if you simply created a one-size-fits-all generic marketing campaign. So the second step is targeting, and this involves deciding which of the segments you've identified are the most attractive. So essentially, you're trying to determine the commercial attractiveness of each segment. And there's a number of factors you can consider to do this. So for example, size of the segment and its potential to grow in size in the future, profitability of the segment, what segments are prepared to pay the most for your product or service, or what's going to be the lifetime value of a customer in this segment. And finally, we have ease of reach. How difficult is it for you to reach the market with your marketing? Can your distribution networks easily reach this segment? Is it going to be really expensive to try and acquire a customer? So ultimately, it isn't just the size of the segment you should be looking at, but it's the overall profitability of each segment. So the final step is positioning. And here you map out the different variables considered in the previous two steps and position your product differently to your competitors in the minds of your customers. You want your product or service to take a unique position in the market, and in marketing terms, this is called your value proposition. Now, there are 3 standard ways you can position your product to achieve a competitive advantage. So first you have functional positioning, and this refers to solving a problem or providing a benefit to your customer. Second, you have symbolic positioning, and this refers to enhancing the self-image, ego, or belongingness needs of your customer. So think about luxury cars. They market themselves using symbolic positioning. So a luxury car will get you from A to B just like any other car, but unlike other cars, they fulfill their customers' self-esteem and ego needs. And the third way of positioning is experiential positioning, and this refers to focusing on those elements of your product or brand that connect emotionally with your customers. Now, ideally, you want your product or brand to combine all 3 positioning factors to put it at a competitive advantage to your competitors. Now, one way of drawing your position in the market, showing what's important in the mind of your customer, is to put together a market map or a market positioning map, such as the one you can see here for the car market. Now, this diagram is obviously just a simple example and doesn't show all car manufacturers, but what it does allow us to see is that there is perhaps a gap in the market for an economic performance car, as there's no other company competing in this space right now. So let's look at a little example. Both of the books you see here are essentially about outsourcing. However, the book on the right sold more copies than all other outsourcing books combined. Why do you think that is? Well, to understand the real power of the STP model, we can use it to see why the 4-hour workweek was so successful. Firstly, let's look at segmenting, targeting, and positioning for the book on the left. Now, this book is aimed at everyone. It hasn't segmented the market and then targeted a specific segment. And because it isn't targeting a segment, then it can't be uniquely positioned. It's trying to be all things to all people interested in outsourcing. Now, conversely, the 4-hour workweek has clearly segmented the market and decided to target small business owners and people wanting to start a business. It then appealed directly to that market using all 3 positioning factors, and you can see all of these on the cover. Functional, the book gives us a process we can use to escape the 9 to 5. Symbolic, it's fulfilling our ego needs by telling us we can join the new rich. And experiential, the picture of a business owner in a hammock is deliberate and it connects with us emotionally. What business owner doesn't want more free time? So this example shows you the real power of the STP model, enabling you to create a unique product in the minds of your customers so that you can dominate your chosen segment. The 4-hour workweek is essentially a book about outsourcing, but positioned in a very unique way. So I really hope this example shows you the real power of the model. Now, there are a number of advantages and disadvantages associated with the model. So firstly, in terms of advantages, it allows you to increase sales by defining a precise target market and then positioning products directly at that market. It helps you avoid wasting money by advertising to the whole market, and it helps you identify gaps in the market. Now, there are also a few disadvantages associated with the model. So costs can increase if you have to produce multiple versions of your product or service. You will need to create different marketing campaigns and collateral for each segment you target. And again, that can increase your costs. And finally, you may need to use different distribution channels to reach different customer segments. So in summary, the STP marketing model is a 3-step process designed to help you identify your most profitable customers and then tailor your marketing and products to the needs of those customers. And the 3 steps of the model are: segment, so divide your market into segments; target, identify the most attractive segments to your organization; and finally, position or positioning, position your product or service to appeal directly to the audience you want to target. So that's it for this lesson. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.